One of the most misunderstood concepts is failure. And I feel that most people live in this idea that failure is bad and that failure is something we should try to avoid. And this is what creates a lot of anxiety and a lot of negative thinking and feeling. Because if we just quickly switch the coin and look at failure as a gift, as something really valuable, because that's what it is, then we start going after it. And you can ask anyone who's ever succeeded in anything, it's because of a lot of different failures. So why is failure such a negative idea? Most certainly it has to do with feelings, because it feels bad to fail. But it also feels bad to go to the gym and break your muscle, but that's the only way it's gonna grow. So, failure is actually the only way you can grow. And the fear of failure is why most people never reach their dreams. They never reach their goals. They never even go after what they actually want. But it's so simple. Once you start embracing failure and have this mindset of win or learn. When I first heard this, I thought it was brilliant. You win or you learn. There is no negative thing there. There is just the lesson, the experience, or then you get to celebrate. So they are both positive things. The only negative thing there is the feeling that comes with the failure. But the feeling is just there to protect our ego and ourself. And of course, if you fail in a physical way, you hurt yourself or something, it's supposed to hurt because you don't want to do that again. But only by experiencing that pain and that failure, you will learn how to not do it again. And this is something I know really good from my snowboarding career, because the most important thing when I was learning to snowboard at a high level and doing all these dangerous and crazy tricks, it was actually not the tricks themselves. It was the skill to know how to slam, to know how to kind of fall down in a way that hurts the minimum amount. Because okay, it's of course you're gonna hurt yourself a little bit, but it's actually a skill to know how to slam. And when I learned that opened up a lot of new doors to bigger spots, to crazier things, because I had the confidence that if I fail or when I fail, I know how to minimize the damage. And I think this is a much better approach. And also because I'm a father, so when I'm teaching my kid, it's not about trying to minimize the failure. It's actually learn how to fail, so in a way that it doesn't hurt so much. And when you learn how to fail in a way that you minimize the damage, that's when you learn so much. That's when the learning becomes more valuable than the pain. And this kind of removes the block of and removes the fear of failure. So whatever you do, you should aim to fail, especially if you start something new. And a lot of the times we start new things and then they end up not working out, and we kind of have to terminate the whole project. And I've done it with a few YouTube channels. It's like they just came to their end. But instead of seeing myself as a failure, to identify with the failure, I get to take those gifts that I learned from failing before, and I get to apply it and kind of do it on this new channel that I just started. So I have a lot more experience, I have a lot more gifts, I have a lot more lessons, I have a lot more to work with because I've failed so much. So in a sense, the winners are those who have failed the most. And I think it's like Michael Jordan and all these like great basketball players. They're like, yeah, I failed like 1,000 times before I got to a certain level. And it's about putting in the work and putting in the failures. Just getting to know the feeling of failure and the experiences of failure so much that you know that you only have the options to succeed left, because you kind of know what leads to failure, which roads lead to failure, and then you start learning which lead to success. And also, success feels good after failures. It only feels good, because if you don't have the failures and let's say you succeed right away, you see like these child stars and artists and whatever, and they get everything. And what usually ends up happening is that they end up with drug problems, they have all kinds of relationship issues and all these other issues that comes with that quick win, because they don't have the lessons. They don't have the lessons to thicken their skin during that time of failure. So just once again, a mindset shift. Switch your thinking to see failures as an opportunity to learn, and that way you will always have a gift from every failure, no matter how big they are. And usually bigger failures have bigger gifts. So stop being afraid of failures, because that's the thing that's gonna make you a winner. I think you get it. So I'm just gonna end this video here, and go and do something. Don't be afraid to fail, and you're gonna feel so good once you start realizing that you get a gift from every failure. So you don't fear it. It's like you get a present. So go out and do the thing you most like to do. That's it from this video. My name is Mitz, your future purpose, and see you in a future video. Don't be afraid to fail.